but no FCC regulations, so
Fuck, man.
Feel
What are we gonna
free
do
to-
without regulations?
feel free to speak freely.
All right.
Though everything you say can and will be used against you.
In the court of public opinion.
And the cops, they monitor our station.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they tell us all the time. You know, we see the show.
Yeah, there's one that's been a fan for 10
We egg
years.
them on, you think they'll come over?
So you think I'll be on a list after this?
You're already
Yeah.
on a list.
You're not already.
Yeah.
That's a list, that's all.
All right, we are live.
Have you guys heard of Jim Bell?
The Art Bell's son?
No.
No, then I'm not.
Jim Bell was the guy that he wrote an essay in 1996 called Assassination Politics, which was about a hypothetical market for betting on when different politicians might die.
Oh, nice.
And by betting on it, like, what's the best way to win a bet? To
You
cheat,
say- Yeah.
right? So if you're going to bet on when a politician might die, and the kitty on that bet is $500 million, a lot of people are going to try to cheat, right? So they called him the most dangerous man in America, and they kind of railroaded him into prison, and then he got out, and then they had federal agents following him all over the place, and then they railroaded him into prison again.
That was the
For a
guy
death
who
pool?
played with us.
What's that?
That's called a death pool, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like a death pool, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they do
Like
it
a
up.
Deadpool, yeah.
They do it with fucking entertainers all
Right.
the time. Like everybody's betting on, like, you know.
So I'm the one that actually got him on Anarchast and got him to Acapulco.
I remember
3 years
flying
ago.
with him. I was on
Yeah.
his plane to
Flying back?
Acapulco.
Oh, flying there?
there.
Oh, really?
And I was just like,
Oh,
who
from
is
Mexico
this
City?
fucker? Yeah.
All right, you guys ready?
Sure.
Let's do this. All right. Welcome to ACAB Radio. We're your hosts, Jay Lyfer, Kelly Special K Patterson, and King Ron. This is episode 44, and we got some very special guests on the show today. The founders of AnarchoVegas. Down on the end, we got Kingsley, we got Aaron, and Yakov. So,
Hello.
yeah, thank you for joining us.
There we
Thanks for having
go.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you very
see,
much.
these mics do work. Don't be shy.
Yeah, so let me introduce the website real quick. You guys can head on over to anarchovegas.com. Let me pull it up real quick. Here it is. And yeah, you can buy your tickets on here. They've got all. Well, is this everybody that's going to be there, or are you still?
No, we're still announcing.
Gotcha.
And
man,
you can pay through crypto on the website too.
Sweet.
Yeah, man, you're gonna give us some, like,
What
people
exactly
are
is
still
the
coming
deal?
on, give us like a heads up. Let us be it first.
Well,
Can we tease it?
Yeah,
We're pushing it
seriously.
out tomorrow.
is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, is today Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
Oh, it's tomorrow?
I mean,
I
we
thought
can't
we-
say it.
Yeah.
Allude
We
to
can-
it.
I mean, we have a really
they're,
cool
they're
guest.
anarchists.
Yeah, we have a really
How
cool
about that?
speaker coming.
They're
We got-
either male or female.
They've been an
We can
anarchist
either-
for a long time.
Neither confirm nor deny the appearance of.
Yeah.
This will be the
Oh, there
first
we go. Here, we're
time.
getting it.
This will be the first time this person has come out publicly as an anarchist to some extent.
All right.
It'll be very interesting.
All right.
We all know this person and know that they're an anarchist, but there's a certain public, mainstream public that doesn't realize.
So we don't get the exclusive reveal here, huh?
But we could.
No, we,
Hey, I think we
we
should.
get the exclusive reveal.
We should
I'm
open
looking
up.
forward
We'll
to
open
it.
it up, man. Anybody wants
but
to
we
put
will
in.
announce it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you type in who you think it is,
So-
man, and you guess it, we'll give you a free T-shirt.
Yeah. Here's another one. He's popular on the internet.
Can you confirm that rumor that it is Harry Reid?
So it looks like
Neither
you.
Michelle
confirm
Obama.
or deny.
It's Michelle Obama.
So it looks like you've got Benny Wills, love that guy, being the master of ceremonies. G. Edward Griffin, the author of The Creature from Jekyll Island, pretty cool. And Larkin Rose, right up our alley. He does a lot of material about police and authority worship. So I'm stoked to meet him. And I'm actually going to take my family to the Candles in the Dark for sure.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Because I've been working on them for years, and it's always my roads and,
Yeah.
the usual status responses. So
Kingsley and I did Candles in the Dark in Acapulco, and it was super enlightening. I learned a lot. It's just basically how to effectively communicate with those people who are all like mo roads and like we need government, and it kind of just gives you the opportunity to speak with them and talk to them in a way that they'll understand. So I think that's great that you're bringing your family.
yeah, I'm stoked. Hopefully we can make some progress.
Have you seen Benny Wills?
Just no, not personally, just some stuff online.
Yeah, Benny's awesome.
Yeah,
He
hilarious.
is a poet.
He's a
man.
wordsmith.
For sure.
Yeah, he'll be very good. We're really excited to have him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So what time does it kick off tomorrow? Like, we give that information and the
Oh, what's the
event?
announcement?
Well, now, yeah.
So we'll announce him probably around like noon to 2 o'clock.
And where is the event being held?
The event will be July 21st at the D.
They're going to hold it at the
Awesome.
So the D is the first hotel in Vegas to accept Bitcoin. Actually, you probably want to say more about that.
Yeah, so they started accepting Bitcoin in 2014, and they were the first hotel in Las Vegas to start accepting Bitcoin. That you can use it in the gift shop, in all the restaurants, and also to buy hotel rooms. Kingsley and I met
Sweet.
there, and I was working there at the time, and he called me and was like, I want to put on a Bitcoin meetup. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So we put on the first Bitcoin meetup, and now we still do Bitcoin meetups. We're the largest Bitcoin meetup in Las Vegas.
And that was the first Bitcoin meetup in Las Vegas.
Right.
First big one, yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Yep.
So the location does have significance
It
and
has
why you guys
huge
chose it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of weird. I mean, the D is, what was that, the old?
That was the old
Fitzgerald's.
Fitzgerald's, yeah.
Right. They're
They-
at
they
that
pimped-
pedicab from what I hear.
They pimped it out though.
Derek Stevens is seriously an innovator.
Yeah, they accept Bitcoin for the hotel, for what the
I said
gift
that.
shop. Oh,
The
you already
gift
said
shop
that.
and
Okay.
the
Yeah.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
There's a rumor going on that they're anti-pedicab. That they don't allow pedicab riders over there now.
Kelly.
Really?
Is it true?
They're
Kelly?
definitely anti-one pedicabber. But we should probably work on that and set it up so that pedicabs like bring your people there.
Yeah,
bring them
man.
wherever the fuck they want to go.
What is pedicab?
That's what we do.
The bicycle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
petty, like PEDI.
yeah.
Not petty, like...
No.
Yeah, we're not
No,
petty at all.
PETT. Damn, that's petty.
Right.
They're petty cabbers.
Let's see who else you got here on the website listed. You got, your media panel, Carrie Wedler. She's awesome. Love her videos, and she does great work at the Anti-Media. You got Josh Sigurdson, World Alternative Media. Ford Fisher, News to Share. He does amazing work. David Rodriguez, Homeschool Leader. So is there going to be, there's a media panel, a Bitcoin panel.
Yep, so there's our media panel, and that's with Ford, Carrie, Josh, Luke Radowski of We Are Change, and Dan Dix
Sweet.
of Press for Truth. Actually, Dan just put out a video today about 5G that you guys have to watch. It's great. But we're also going to have our crypto panel, which we haven't announced yet. We will hopefully be announcing that in about a week or so, depending on whether we get
Like who we confirm.
Yeah.
by then.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be announcing some big names for that as well.
That's cool because I'm like really into the cryptozoology.
Oh, yeah?
So hopefully we'll get some of those guys. Either Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster,
That'd be awesome.
Mothman, like
If
any
you
of the
could get
crypto.
Bigfoot and Godzilla on a panel.
Well, he's not actually
Canada.
cryptozoology, but but Godzilla would be cool. I could deal with that.
Are you into like Mark Passio and that kind of thing?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Yeah, I know he's not on our list, but he is speaking at AnarchoVegas
Yeah.
in September. So that's a good one to look
And
into.
you're speaking at AnarchoVegas.
And I'm speaking at AnarchoVegas.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So yeah, it's gonna be really fun. Max Egan will be there. And a
Oh,
couple of others.
he's got some cool
So,
stuff too.
and in order to get tickets for the ones coming up in July, just go online.
Yeah, you just go on our
Um,
website.
Is there a limited number? I mean, are tickets selling fast? So people, if they're going to do it, like you can't wait.
Well, there are a limited number, and also I would mention that you guys have a promo code ACAB, ACAB.
Yeah, let me show
So
that
if you
here.
use their
Look at
promo
that.
code, it's 10% off.
And that's off the early bird price.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Damn, so you get double the discount. You get
Yes,
early
sir.
So
bird
it'll
and
be
10%, so don't wait.
$108 for the ticket.
Yep,
with the
Damn,
promo
that's a
code.
good price.
Yep, $108 if you do the GA route, and then if you go the VIP route.
Yeah, but we recommend the VIP.
Right. Well, you just get more
Not
bang for your
much
buck
more,
with
yeah.
the VIP ticket. So the difference between the GA and the VIP is the GA ticket will get you access into the Free Ross party on Saturday, but you'll have to pay for wine, beer, and liquor. And then on Sunday, right? That was Saturday. Yeah, on Sunday that'll get you access into the conference. But with your VIP ticket, not only will you get unlimited wine at the Free Ross party on Saturday, you'll also get reserved seating, so like the first couple of rows, a meet and greet with the speakers, and also
Nice.
access to the party on Sunday night
It seems to be quite a bit.
for only, I think it's $60 more.
It's $80 more,
$80
but,
more.
but with the promo code, it's like whatever it comes out to.
Right.
It's not much more.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
Whatever the
we're
math is on that.
We're really looking forward to it. You know, our whole goal was to kind of do something a little bit different in the conference space. And do you want to talk about why we chose the speakers that we did?
The theme that we're trying to get across to people is that, you know, it's very easy to get caught up in all the conspiracies and, you know, the power of the state, and, you know, the central banks are controlling things, and, you know, powerful corporations are lobbying the government and have regulatory capture and so on and so forth. It's, you know, we feel very discouraged. But the truth of the matter is that, you know, one guy, Satoshi Nakamoto, took on the entire central banking system in the world, and ultimately he's, I mean, you know, it hasn't quite happened yet, but we see the writing on the wall. He's won. And there's no question about that. That's a cat that can't be put back in the bag. You know, Ross Ulbricht is in prison, but the truth of the matter is that the idea of a free market in, you know, things that are contraband can't be put back in the
Right.
bag. You know,
Silk Road.
that idea has won. It's when Silk Road went out, you know, when Ross got arrested and Silk Road was taken down, what was it, 3 or 4 months later, maybe 5 months later, Silk Road 2 was up. That one got shut down, and then the Silk Road 3 was up within weeks.
And
then all the copycats.
decriminalizing magic mushrooms in Denver is on the ballot
Yep.
today, actually.
Yes, it
You
is.
know? So
And I
it's
think that
like-
a lot of that has to do with
Which
the
means
fact
we'll
that
be out
they're
there
losing the
tomorrow.
drug war.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
Road
they're
trip.
circumventing them. So they might as well just,
Absolutely.
if you can't beat us,
Yeah.
join us.
Join us.
Like,
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So what we want to do with this conference is talk about things that empower the individual. We want each of us and everybody in our audience to walk away feeling empowered as an individual, and in the communities that we build as anarchists, that we can actually change the world. We don't have to have the permission of the government to do so. We don't have to care about their paper tiger. You know, we can just go out and do something and change it.
Absolutely, I dig it. Yeah, I can definitely see people walking away from the event feeling empowered and you know, called to action to help create this better world. So Lynn Albrecht will be there,
Mm-hmm.
and that event looks like on the website.
That is on Saturday. I
Saturday.
don't believe we have that do we have that ticket up yet?
I don't think we have that ticket up yet.
There we go.
I'm gonna put that up. Yeah.
So that will be up soon. We're just finalizing some details there, but
Okay.
we've got the venue secured, and Lynn is planning on doing just a little speech there on Saturday night. She will not be speaking on Sunday, so if you do plan on meeting Lynn and want to hear her speak, we highly recommend you come to the Free Ross party on Saturday.
All right.
That ticket price is included in the conference ticket. However, if let's say you're here for Freedom Fest and you don't want to buy a $120 GA ticket to AnarchoVegas, you can just and you just want to go to the Free Ross party, you can just pay $30 and pick up a Free Ross party ticket.
Nice.
Of which $10 goes to Free Ross, and then the rest of it covers our costs on,
Yeah.
Awesome.
on
And it's
the
gonna be
venue
at a
and
penthouse
whatever.
right off the strip.
Right.
So,
Oh, cool. Very cool. So it says on the website Friday candles in the dark and Saturday as well. Now that's separate from the event, right? Different location. It's not going to be at the D,
Different location,
But
and
they
that's
are
sorta
both
separate
speaking.
from us.
but they are
Because-
both speaking at the conference, right?
Correct.
On Sunday they
Correct.
speak?
Yep.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
if you don't want to take on the Candles in the Dark workshop on Friday and Saturday, you will still get to hear Larkin and Amanda speak separately on Sunday at the conference.
Cool. Very cool.
Have you heard them speak before? Like, in person?
No, I watched a video from Anarchapulco that was
Was
really
it the
cool.
shish kebab one from a couple years ago? Super controversial.
That might have been the one. I can't remember. It's been a while, but it was one of. I watch a lot of his videos too on.
Can I
on
curse
YouTube.
on here?
Sure.
Of course.
Please
Fuck
do.
yeah.
Okay.
Fuck
yeah.
Great. It's the one where Larkin Rose was saying like, "Fuck your flag, fuck this, fuck that." That speech. That's one of my personal favorites, actually.
Right.
What's a shish kebab have to do with
That's the name of the speech.
Okay.
But it was at Anarchapulco, and but yeah, Larkin is. It's
Larkin's
funny.
great.
It's funny because he spoke this past year at Anarchapulco, and I brought my mom with me. My mom is like libertarian light, like she's like just getting into it, you know, like she'll fuck around with like
She's coming around.
she'll screw around with like conspiracies about 9/11 and stuff, but when you go deeper and like, you know, say like things like fuck your flag, she gets upset.
Right.
So I was a little bit nervous to bring her to a Larkin Rose speech because I was like, oh my god, like Larkin's gonna say something and she's gonna get up and walk out. Like,
Blasphemy. Yeah.
yeah.
We should have did a flag burning while we were here. We could have did it live.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, have you seen Jeff Berwick's video on that? He like just like prints out like pictures.
Oh, yeah, he had a
of
whole
different-
bunch of
different
flags,
countries'
yeah.
flags, and he just sits at his desks and chain smokes and just lights them on fire. And like that's like the entire video.
I can dig it.
You know, it's so funny that people get all up in arms about burning a piece of cloth and
Yeah, made in China.
yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
Meanwhile,
They could be very
like
dangerous.
First Amendment auditors, you know, like they'll go up to cops in public and they will try to protect your rights as a citizen, and people, bootlickers, will,
Oh,
will
yeah.
literally stand behind them and yell at them and like scream at them.
People get more
It's
upset about
Oh,
you
yeah.
burning a
funny.
flag than about let's say, that police chief who killed a guy in Texas. You know, people are more upset about you burning a flag.
Absolutely.
How fucking crazy is that?
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
what
we're gonna-
what world do we live in?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to play that.
Open your eyes, people.
Yeah, it was crazy when I confronted the police chief. The people in the audience were looking at me like they wanted to choke the life out of me. It's like I'm exposing this dude's past and calling him out on it, and these bootlickers are like looking at me like I'm the bad guy. Like I didn't kill
Yeah,
an
like, do
unarmed
you want a
veteran.
murderer
You know
as
what I
your
mean?
police
Right.
chief? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
What?
activism, it helps all around. It even helps the state because it's like, hey, well, maybe not the nefarious state, but you know, like at least the idea of the bootlickers. Like, wouldn't you want someone who's more qualified, who doesn't have a previous like criminal
Violent
record?
past?
Yeah, violent past as your police chief.
I don't believe that's true. I think they like what's happening, and I think it's a conscious decision to pick these people that are
Yeah.
violent and racist, and a lot of times, you know,
And it's like Murray Rothbard said, we don't want good people in government. We want schmoes in government. We want people who can't find a doorknob. You know, we don't want to waste good people in government when we could have good people in the private sector. You know, and that's the thing. It's government of the incompetent, by the incompetent, for the
Well,
incompetent.
we don't want that, but
Right.
it seems like kind of normies would. But,
General
yeah.
public.
Yeah.
Well,
GPs.
that's what I'm saying. It's government of the incompetent, by the incompetent, for the
Yeah,
incompetent,
yeah.
right? People who are incompetent, you know, companies that are incompetent and can't compete in the marketplace,
Right.
they want to use violence, you know, which Isaac Asimov called violence the last refuge of the incompetent, right? So they want to use violence to force their competitors out, and you know, they're using, you know, these violent thugs who can't compete in the market. They can't get other jobs. They can't do well in anything else. All they know how to do is be bullies. So, you know, it's a bunch of incompetent people using a bunch of incompetent people to keep incompetent people down. But as anarchists, we want to create a different market. We want to exist and function outside of the umbrella of the state, outside of their thumb. You know? So it's up to us to create those solutions that circumvent these incompetent assholes.
And
Basically.
re-enter AnarchoVegas, where we inspire everyone to take control of their lives.
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I just want to read this real quick on your website. I thought it was good. Anarchy is more popular than ever. The events are popping up all over the world, which you guys have all been to Anarchapulco, and then I know there was just one in Arizona, and as you mentioned, Anarchadelphia, and now AnarchoVegas. Like,
There's
they're
actually
popping up
one
everywhere.
in Portugal as well, Anarcha Portugal.
Oh, that's awesome.
That happened last year, yeah. So it really is, like, people are realizing, like, oh, well, why can't I throw a liberty-based event in my city? And the truth is, you can. Just, you find a team and you just get it done. You do it.
Definitely, yeah. I'm
But Vegas is the best place.
Oh,
for
but
it,
yeah,
obviously.
for sure.
Right? I mean, objective.
Woohoo, Vegas, Vegas.
Yeah, who doesn't
Come
want
to
to come to
ours.
Vegas? And it's super accessible, you know. It's cheap to fly in here. There's so much competition for business out here that room rates are low.
Yep, getting around, you know, like you
Super
don't really
easy.
fear for your safety. So like the thing about Anarchapulco, you know, like us three know that it's just as safe as any other city. But, you know, for someone who wants to go and they're nervous and they listen to the government,
All warnings.
all the
Mhm.
warnings that say like Acapulco is the most dangerous place in the world, you know, they get a little turned off by it. You know, like there's Spanish speaking taxi drivers and
Right,
you
they
know.
can't when you can't communicate with the people. It's,
It's
you know,
very
it's a little
difficult.
difficult to get around. You
So-
feel uncomfortable.
We wanted to kind of create another option and just say, hey, look, you know, like come to Anarchapulco, try it. And also, you know, like we have an event in the summer. It's super easy to get to. It's super cheap as far as the hotel rooms go. If it's a midweek rate, you have Lyft, you have Uber. You know, like there's so
Pedicabs.
many free market solutions.
And Vegas has a pretty long sort of anti-government free market sort of
Feel.
history.
Yep.
Yeah.
Weed is
So-
legal, so
Yeah.
And we were really inspired by Anarchazona because they threw together their event, and it seemed like probably 2 months or
2-3
less.
months.
And
yeah.
it was a smaller event. I think probably like 150 people or something like that. But it was well run. It was great, having the community come back, especially right after Acapulco, and to see each other again. So we figured, hey, we have 3 months, so why can't we
Let's
do
do it.
let's
Let's see what we can throw
Yeah,
together
yeah.
in 90 days.
Yeah.
And if it's great, well, then we'll do it again next year. And if it's not great, then we'll do it again next year.
But next year
Better.
we'll because it's Vegas and we can, it's a pretty competitive city, so we want to keep the price low for next year too.
Yeah,
Right.
Make
yeah,
it
that's a big
more
goal
accessible,
of ours.
even though we'll try to expand the conference. Right now we're only a 1-day conference really. We'll have stuff going on for 3 days, but it's mainly a 1-day conference. But
Right.
next year we want to expand it, but we still want to be able to keep the price low, make it accessible for everybody.
Mhm.
Right.
I like the dates that you chose because Liberty Fest is ending right then, so
Oh, Freedom Fest.
Freedom Fest.
Freedom
yeah.
Fest, yeah, and you've got the events going on at night, so people from that event can come to your guys' stuff. So very
we feel that Freedom Fest it brings in a lot of people, but there are a lot of anarchists who are kind of just sitting in the back row, kind of just scratching their heads and being like, why am I here?
Yeah, Freedom Fest has a very different target crowd than us, even though they do have I always used to call them the largest anarchist conference in the world, even though, even once Anarchapulco had started, the first year Anarchapulco was like 150 people maybe.
Mhm.
The next year was like maybe 300 people. So even at that point, I was still calling Freedom Fest the largest anarchist conference because you have hundreds of anarchists there, but most of what's going on at Freedom Fest doesn't really talk to them,
No.
So we figured
true.
we could have a day after Freedom Fest, and we're not stepping on their toes or anything, and it just after they're done, we'll have something for the anarchists. Why not
Right.
have something for everybody?
definitely. Yeah, I'm super excited. You got some great people.
Yeah, so like you had mentioned, David Rodriguez, he's pretty well known in like the Anarchapulco crowd, but outside of that, a lot of people don't really, he's just not as well known, but he should be. He practices, what's the word I'm
Peaceful
looking for?
parenting.
Peaceful parenting, and he
Homeschooling.
advocates for
Homeschooling,
unschooling. He has several different companies that help parents, switch over from a statist school
Public
to
indoctrination camps.
yep, to this homeschool option. So he is extremely smart, and
He's a very genuine speaker.
yeah, oh yeah, you
he's a
can
very
feel
genuine
it.
He can
person.
talk.
You
Yeah.
can feel it in his words
Yeah.
that he genuinely cares about the youth of this country and what they can go on to accomplish, if only that they're not being publicly indoctrinated.
He
and you
keeps
give them
telling
the
us to
freedom.
pump out kids.
Oh yeah, which I'm all for.
Yeah, I saw that Anarchapulco made that a part of their last
The
conference
Free
as
Your
well.
Family Camp. Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. So I'm glad you guys carried that over
Well,
as
because
well.
it's such an important aspect, you
Yeah.
know, like
And it's a really important thing that you can do in your actual life, that, if more and more people do that in this generation, the next generation just won't be as susceptible to the state and to the propaganda as our parents were.
Yep.
Right? So
Yeah, that's what Ron Paul had that message too, that we're only 20 years away from a more freer society, because just younger generations, especially being born with the internet, now we have cryptocurrencies.
Right.
I mean, it seems like it's inevitable.
information
Just like
can't be
cat's
contained
yeah.
today.
Cat's out of the bag.
Right? If something happens and rather than being able to spin it, the true information is out the next day or even within hours. And it's just really hard for the mainstream media to control the flow of information.
Have you guys been affected at all by social media censorship?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been a
I
big
guess.
topic on the show for sure.
I mean, not as bad as some of the other guys. I mean, they've been very soft-handed compared, but absolutely. And then we also got a lot of local, like I say, the police, I'll be walking down the street or driving, and they'll roll down their window, and say something.
No, like,
so they
Yeah. I tell them to be
they
like,
harass
"Hey,
you.
Not harassment, but they remind us that they know who we are and that they listen,
right.
okay.
Okay.
I mean, I get stopped,
Yeah.
for bullshit
And we
stops.
have to do a weekly segment now where we criticize the fire department.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, so you guys are working on a, what is it called? A platform, social
Oh,
media
yeah.
platform,
Yeah,
right?
float.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so Float's it's a free speech friendly social media platform. We're actually the live streaming partner of AnarchoVegas too. So if you can't make it to the conference, I recommend that you try to. But if you absolutely can't, you'll be able to view the conference remotely and interact with some of the speakers, potentially on stage, but definitely off stage through our app with live streaming. And yeah, we're just building it because, I mean, it seems, there's a couple other social media sites and like decentralized technologies out there. But, it's just something, I feel like there's like the decentralization of social media right now, where I think there's going to be a couple of winners that come out of it.
And there are some major gaps in the ones that exist right now.
Yeah. There's one of the things that we really are trying to make. We're just trying to make the whole experience as far as for the user very user friendly, and then also crypto is integrated throughout it as well. So people will be able to subscribe to content creators like Patreon.
Nice.
Tip people with like super chat functionality like YouTube. So we're taking a lot of the best features of these different platforms and putting it into ours. And we're launching with some, pretty big partners in the anarchist, libertarian, crypto community as well. So we're hoping to gain a lot of traction based on that. But
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're excited to. That should be. We'll have more information soon. The website's float.app right now, and you can put in your email to stay up to date or follow us on the regular social media right now until we launch.
So will it be live for the event? Like you're saying, you're going to live stream it through the app. So will people be able to download the app if they can't make it out to the event to live stream
Right.
it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be tickets for that
Sweet.
as well. So.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about it, we were just talking about, is that it's specifically the indie journalists that have made it so difficult for the state to control information. So we want to protect that. You guys want to protect that with Float, and we want to promote that and inspire the next generation of indie journalists or
Right.
just people who are going out and doing something with AnarchoVegas. We
And
want to
I
inspire
mean,
that.
and just giving up people a home where they can post their content and get as much as they can for it. Like they put their content up on sites on YouTube, and the YouTube AI can pick up on one little thing, and boom, their
Yeah,
channel
it's-
is completely
It's
demonetized.
crazy. I mean, like, yeah,
That's their income.
content
Carrie
creators on-
just got
Yeah.
basically completely demonetized, I think, last week.
Carrie got kicked off of. I mean, she is not, very controversial in this
Right.
at all. I mean, she just talks about like government accountability, maybe police brutality, anti-war stuff, and she got banned off of Twitter overnight, no justification whatsoever. All her YouTube videos got demonetized, and even like content creators on YouTube now are actually having to change. It's like so Orwellian. They have to actually change the words they use. So like if there's a shooting, they'll have to be like, someone did something. Like they have to
Yeah.
like change the words that they use, or else Google's algorithm picks it up and either demonetizes it or they get a strike or whatever.
Which also ruins their ability to be found in search
Right.
results. So
Yeah.
it's just pretty crappy situation.
Yeah, also with like copyrighted material, like when YouTube was first getting started, like I would go there because everything was there. Like if you wanted to watch, a bootleg movie or whatever, everything was there back in the day when they first got started. Now it's like if you use a snippet from something in one of your videos, you know what I mean, they'll demonetize you for that.
Our friend is very, very conscious. Josh Sigurdson is a partner for AnarchoVegas, and he's a very close friend of ours. And like even when we're out, like for instance, like we go out to the casinos and gamble, and we'll shoot some video, and if YouTube catches wind of a song playing in the background,
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, like
That's
the casino
it.
has music
It's
piped in.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
that's it, and then that he'll get either a strike or like a some kind of a message from YouTube
Yeah.
saying that he violated copyright laws. It's just ridiculous.
So we're actually going to talk to the D about making sure that no copyright music is playing during the conference so that we don't have that issue.
Yeah, a lot of that elevator music where they take standard hits and then
Yeah, you look at
elevator ties it, so you can
Right.
have that piped through.
I've seen cycling videos where you ride past somebody and music's coming out of their car and they give you a fucking strike on that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's become a tool to use for censorship rather than something that's
Exactly.
applied broadly.
Yeah. It's the same thing that Kelly's had that same problem with using, say, body cam footage where somebody's killed, or police brutality where somebody gets beat up, and they'll say, it's violent content, and he'll get a strike for it, or they'll, you gotta like make sure that you're 18 to watch it and whatnot, and it's more of a censorship tool than anything. You know what I mean? It's not like he's going out beating somebody up and filming
Right.
it. He's taking video that was given to the press at a press release, so.
And at first they came for Alex Jones, and
Mhm.
no one said anything. And now, now they're coming for us, everyone. I mean, there was just a big round of bans just a couple days ago. More towards, it seems like, conservative. I don't know. It's just really interesting. I mean, it's getting very politicized. It seems like. I think I don't know. I can't even explain it. It's hard to even talk to like investors for our social media platform about what's going on without kind of coming off like some sort of conspiracy theorist, because it's just like
That feeling
it's
when
kinda-
you literally say, hey, censoring free speech is bad,
Yeah.
and there are repercussions for that. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Free speech is controversial now, which is just sad.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be a fan of Alex Jones, like way back in the day. He kind of went like
A little off
right wing and pro-Trump and lost me
Trump.
with all that. But
Yeah.
I still
he
don't
used to
think
be
he should
very
be
anti-government.
censored. Yeah, exactly. He used to put out great shit. I mean, about the police state and about, the Council on Foreign Relations and everything,
but they're censoring him for a reason. There's obviously a message that the government doesn't want to get out. So
Yeah, but I mean, still, I'm sure his traffic to his website has just shot through the roof as a result of the censorship. You know what I mean? Okay, you can't find him on Facebook, but I bet you.
Right.
He's
And what's
still
happening
making-
now is
yeah.
that basically YouTube is just shooting themselves in the foot because they're not going to get any of the money from that.
Yeah.
Well, with
exactly.
this last ban too, they're saying that even if you even if you're from your personal profile, you share Infowars, any Infowars, not even Alex Jones, Infowars articles, videos, or anything,
And you're not being
You-
disparaging because if
yeah,
you're being
not-
disparaging
if you say,
about
if you
it,
say fuck Alex Jones, something like that, that's fine.
Right.
But if you share it, be like, oh, this is interesting. Another viewpoint. You can actually, your personal Facebook profile can get flagged and banned.
Yeah, it's pretty
so
crazy.
I guess the trick is just to post a bunch of Alex Jones shit, but
Say fuck Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
right.
Fuck yeah, Alex Jones.
Just
Yeah,
have
that's
to
crazy.
throw that little
Disclaimer.
hack keyword in there. You know,
Yeah. Hashtag fucking.
it's like
Hashtag learn to code.
almost said something and didn't want to. There's a hashtag fuck somebody that.
Fuck Zuck.
Yeah, fuck Zuck. That was ours.
Which one?
Fuck Zuck.
Fuck Zuck. No,
yeah.
there's a anarchist activist that has a hashtag that's fuck him,
Oh.
and he's our speaker that we'll be announcing tomorrow.
Oh,
All right.
see, another clue to you
Another
guys. If you want to
spoiler.
Another
If
clue.
you guys can figure it out, get that free T-shirt. Come on,
It's
start putting it
not
out there.
Zuckerberg, right?
And it's not Zuckerberg.
There we go. We're narrowing it down.
But putting Zuckerberg in like a dunk tank
Yeah,
actually
like
would
3
be really
million more
fun.
names ago.
Oh,
Fuck a piranha tank.
Yeah, that too. That too.
yeah, we didn't say what would be in the necessarily.
That would be funny as shit.
But,
We can put the governor of Nevada in a dunk tank. Hey, you think we can get that police chief in a dunk tank?
Yeah, that'd be cool. You
I'm
get
sure if you offer
you
money.
get the dunk
You just
tank.
tell
I'll
me
get
you're
in.
going to a party bus.
Listen, they fucking just had an event, another police event, where they were waiters,
Yeah.
you know, for a pizzeria.
the
So,
cops were waiters.
Yeah. There was a pizza event.
Oh.
So they would serve.
I like. Well,
I
that's
had,
good.
you know, they should do a CC's,
They're getting
pizza.
extra experience, so maybe when they're out of a job,
You know.
Better than them going to another
Magical
police
day
department.
happens Where a cop actually gets fired and doesn't get rehired 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gypsy cops.
Right?
Well, since we're transitioning into police, before we do, there's some stories that we want to cover and some video we want to play. Before we do, is there anything else about the event you guys want to mention?
Yeah, just visit our website AnarchoVegas.com. We have event. The main conference is on the 21st. We have other events going from the 19th to the 22nd, I guess, right?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, we're potentially thinking about doing something on the 22nd, whether it's like shooting, something kind of more casual and fun.
Yeah, I feel like whoever's still hanging around on the 22nd, we'll all go out to the desert, do some shooting, do some
Yeah.
sporting clays and
America.
stuff like that. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Exercising our amendment rights. Second
Oh,
Amendment
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Buy your tickets.
And ACAB for that promo code, 10% off, and
There we go.
that'll be their
I
promo
like
code.
that.
And make sure you guys comment and let us know who you think we're going to announce tomorrow, so you can get that
That's it.
free
Get your free
t-shirt.
T-shirt.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
We wanted to give a
AnarchoVegas.
shout out to Crystal, who's known as the Pedicab Princess, because we're going to be doing that pedicab thing at the D.
Damn. Guys taking chances
whoops.
now.
Just saying. We're going to resolve this pedicab controversy.
Can't we all just get along?
She's probably going to be pretty instrumental in that.
Do they have pedicabs on Uber here or no? I think they do in some
Uber
cities,
hates
right?
us because they're petty. They're petty.
They're petty.
That's right.
Pedicabs.
But it's a nice green alternative, you know, to
There
get around
should be an
Vegas
app
and
where you can
stuff.
order a pedicab.
I think in some cities, I'm pretty sure like Lyft or Uber maybe it's Lyft in like Austin or something like that. They have.
If that's the
it's
case, then we
integrated.
like Lyft, but we hate Lyft.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this police chief in Henderson. Kelly wrote a great article, nvcopblock.org. Henderson Police not concerned about violent history of newly hired Deputy Police Chief Cedric Andrus. So he was initially brought here from Texas to be the number 2 in Henderson by, what was her name, Letitia, I believe. Well, she just got fired for union busting, and now he's taken the reins. His violent past includes multiple excessive use of force complaints when he first started his career in Louisiana, and then he transferred to Arlington PD in Texas, where he shot and killed Juan May. So there's some information about that incident in this video
Before
clip.
that, though, he had like a road rage incident where he pulled a gun on
Another
a guy
unarmed
that he was
person.
starting shit with.
Yeah.
And then when the guy he killed, he was on a party bus and he was drunk and he was fucking around with people, and then he got into a fight and the guy kicked his ass, so he went and got a gun from his car and came
Yeah.
back.
Coward.
Which is pretty automatic for like an actual citizen went and got their gun from a car and came back and shot somebody. That would be a murder charge.
Oh,
But I
premeditated,
think he got a
yeah.
promotion out of that.
Yeah, he ended up
Yep.
getting a paid vacation and then went back to work and got a promotion. So this picture right here
And
is
this works
actually
really well into the Vegas scheme of things. This is how it's done in Vegas.
And what's this police chief's name?
Fedric Andres,
Mhm.
and he's the Henderson police chief now. This picture here is
Good job,
him
Henderson.
with Juan May. Juan May's in the back on the left there. That's who he shot and killed. This is actually, I believe, from the night of the incident, isn't it? Yeah. So this is a brief clip I want to play for you guys of the family, actually, Juan May's sister. They're still fighting for justice in civil court, but let me play this real quick. My bad. Here we go. All right, we are
I
back.
missed the part of the show.
I turned the sound off while that clip was playing. Sorry about that, everybody.
Sure,
Hey,
you
thank
repeat
you.
all
Tell
that
your
word
friend
for word.
thank you.
Her name is Gwen. Thank you, Gwen.
Gwen,
Hey.
thank you. Yeah, so where were we? So I went to this press well, not a press conference, but like a community forum trying to get an interview with them, and I went like undercover in like, instead of my Nevada Cop Block shirt, I went in a Food Not Bombs shirt with a Food Not Bombs press pass, because I did want to talk about homeless issues in the area as well, but just to make it seem more harmless, you know, like I'm not going to ask any tough questions about your violent past, but he declined the interview, said he was too busy, but that there is a Q&A at the end, so I had to sit through this guy's hour presentation of him talking about what a wonderful job he's doing over here.
Yep.
Oh, it was
Thank you
rough.
again for your service.
Yeah, so I'll play that real quick. It's just a few minutes.
Have to answer some questions that you kind of know who are standing in front of you.
Yeah, I'm Joey. I'm a concerned Henderson resident, born and raised in Las Vegas. Got a few concerns with the Henderson Police Department. One of them being gypsy cops. For people that aren't familiar with the term, it's like if a cop gets in trouble in another department and they're allowed to resign or instead of being fired, so then they're further allowed to extort taxpayers by collecting the unpaid time off and whatnot.
Sorry.
I bring this up because that's what happened before you took command with the previous police chief that was fired. There was a cover-up of all that anyways, but they allowed him to resign and he was able to collect like $100 and something thousand worth of unpaid time off and that sort of thing. But when they're not fired, not only are they allowed to do that, but they can go and get hired by another department. So I bring this up because of our new police chief's past in Texas. So in Texas, I don't know if anybody here is aware of this, but our new police chief actually killed a man. He was on a party bus, club hopping, drinking and whatnot, going from club to club, and off duty, of course, but ended up shooting and killing a man in Texas. And when the residents of Texas found out he was rehired here, there was actually protests in the streets, and in Henderson, nobody says anything because they don't know about it. The news isn't talking about it. So I just want to bring up gypsy cops for that reason, because our police chief now, our new acting police chief, started off in New Orleans, as he said, and had numerous excessive force complaints against him, against, I don't know if it was inmates or citizens when he was there, but then he transferred to Texas, in Arlington, Texas, killed a man there, transfers here, what's her name, Letitia, who was just fired for union busting. I'm not a fan of police unions, but every worker has a right to organize, and that's why he's the police chief now. So we've gone through 2 police chiefs in 2 years, and it's a scandal every time. And I think that's yeah. My question. I'd like to have an opportunity to have a forum, but people can go ask questions. So is there a question in there that you answer? So my question is, if you really care about the community, the Henderson community, as you say, then you would resign, sir, because we don't want somebody who is a known murderer to run our police department. So will you resign, is the question.
So we appreciate the compassion behind that statement that you made, so we're here to talk about community-based policing. So we want to discuss me being hired to see if you should have any hired me. If you have a question about that, certainly you can take that up with the city management team. So we want to make sure that we meet the needs of the community. So what other questions do we have?
Yeah, so that was crazy. He just completely sidestepped me, didn't respond to my question when I asked him if he would resign. They didn't even give me a chance to finish speaking because I had so much more I'd like to say, but yeah, it was surreal, man, seeing not only the way they're looking at me, but the way that the other people in the crowd were looking like I'm the fucking bad guy for exposing this shit. And it's like, yeah, I mean, is this who you want running your police department, somebody who killed an unarmed veteran, somebody who pulled a gun over a road rage incident on another unarmed person, somebody who's used excessive force numerous times. I mean, this guy has no right. He shouldn't be the person in that position. But Henderson's notorious for, shitty leadership, and went through two scandals, 2 police chiefs in 2 years. The last one was a cover-up as well. There's an article on NV Cop Block where we expose that Henderson's, Nevada's top 2 lawmen forced to resign for sexual harassment, and they allowed them to resign instead of firing them, and they collected like $140,000 in unpaid time off. They get their pensions, and I haven't looked into it recently, but who knows if they're working for another department somewhere else now, just like this police chief is. So
yeah, that tends to be the case.
We need a blockchain just to track the gypsy cops.
That would be
Right.
great.
People have been talking about that for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, especially being in Vegas, it's such an easy answer. If you get caught cheating in a casino, you go on a blacklist, and you can't go into any casino.
Right.
So if you, murder an unarmed veteran, or if you've got a violent history, you shouldn't be a cop. You should.
Well, there should be no cops.
You should be
I
a
mean,
federal database or a blacklist so that they can't get hired for another department, right?
the system is rotten in and of itself. The whole policing state, the way they do things. So this isn't unusual. It's business as usual. Until that's dismantled, there's nothing wrong with the system. The system is functioning the way the system was designed to function.
Right.
You see it bringing this guy in. So,
Yeah, when you kill 2 people and you get fired for using excessive force on video, and then you go to Wyoming and kill somebody else.
Right, this
maybe
isn't-
that shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, this isn't the first time it's happened out here. This is Derek Calling,
Right.
who he's talking about. Shot somebody just for simply filming the police out here in Vegas. He worked
Actually,
for
that
the
was the person he beat. He didn't shoot him, but he'd shot 2 people prior to that.
yeah, and then beat somebody, had a complaint for beating somebody for filming them, and then didn't get fired, got all his unpaid time off and whatnot, further extort taxpayers, and then fled home to his hometown in Wyoming and got a job for the police department there, where he killed another person. So
sure.
It's
shot
just
another
crazy
person.
that, the public will actually rally support behind someone even if they've killed somebody. If you sit there and you ask a normal person of society and you say, I have these 2 people, right? Both of them have killed somebody, and, but please tell me
And if
which
you
one of these 2
if you explain
people
the
you feel
reasons.
comfortable with protecting your safety.
Yeah.
Which one would you call when your life is in danger? And it's just like, where the society will ostracize one person for killing somebody, but yet they'll throw support behind another who did the same thing just because they have a shiny badge on their hip.
Yeah.
It's really, I wish people would just open their eyes and wake up.
Yeah.
That is one of the questions. It's like, first of all, Derek Colling, that's the only guy you could find that you could hire to be a cop in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And then this guy especially, he's now he's the chief, and he's already killed somebody and threatened somebody with a gun before that, and had excessive force allegations against him. So, is that the only guy that is available in the whole country to be the assistant chief?
Yeah.
Well, I
you
think
would know
the
the
truth of the
answer.
matter is, they're actually having a really hard time recruiting. They're having a much harder time recruiting than they used to. So that's a plus.
Right. Nobody wants
That
to be
is.
cops anymore.
People are holding true to some moral compass now, and
Yeah.
not becoming part of the
Well, and
system.
then also all the propaganda of how dangerous their job is. Not that it's actually dangerous, but
Yeah.
but the people are actually kind of scared of being a cop, and they're more ostracized by their community. People don't like cops that
King,
much.
were you going to say being part of an organized crime racket?
Yeah.
They're a gang.
They are
they're
totally
legitimately-
100% a
And if you go
gang.
down to the
Gang.
Mob Museum, it says the Museum of Organized Crime and Law Enforcement.
Is it really?
Yep.
It's like
Wow.
blatant,
Yeah.
I don't know. I really
It's
like
almost
their
like a
silly
Freudian
costumes.
slip. They just threw that in there.
But when you think about it like that, hiring somebody like this makes total sense, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's absolutely intentional. And there probably were other people that they considered, but, you know, that thin blue line, man, you know,
I'm
may
telling
stretch
you,
but
man.
never breaks. So they make sure that they take care of each other.
Yeah.
And it goes across states, it goes across precincts, it, you know.
I
That's
think it was,
omerta, essentially.
yeah, it's the same
And
that
the
the
system is
mafia
functioning
has.
exactly how it's
Like-
supposed to.
They're the true sovereign citizens.
And the thing is, like, him being rehired is as much them taking care of their own as it is anything else, but they seek out people that are willing to use violence against people. That's how they
Absolutely.
get all these violent cops.
And, and the lady who brought him over here, who's fired now, but it makes sense for me when I look at it from her eyes. Like, okay, so I can have this guy who's got this terrible rap sheet, or somebody who looks better than me. She's going to want to bring somebody who looks worse than her so that they don't want to get rid of her. You know what I mean?
That didn't work out too well, did
It didn't, but
No.
I mean, I could see her thinking that way at least. You know, oh, you going to fire me and get stuck with this guy? Are you really going to do that? You know, but
Well, that's kind of like
they
having
did.
Biden as your vice president.
Yeah, Trump and Pence.
Pence,
Do you want
yeah.
fucking Pence in there? Nut job.
Right.
Skeletor.
Right?
That's a way to not get assassinated is have Biden as your VP. So nobody wants him as president.
Right. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, Trump should have had Hillary as his VP.
Right?
Although,
Yeah, strategy.
It's not even the Democrats don't want her.
she would
She
take
would-
care of
yeah.
the assassination.
Yeah.
She would have assassinated him, like, real quick.
Wow.
Yeah, so we
All came
got
together.
I'm just saying, like even the Democrats don't want her. That's my point.
Oh, yeah.
we got a couple minutes left here.
We know that
Do
she has no boundaries.
Right.
No questions on here. So, any events coming up? Well, there's a huge event coming up in
Let's
July.
Bitcoin
Yeah, we have a Bitcoin meetup that I can talk about. So,
Yeah, for sure,
We have
plug
a Bitcoin
it.
meetup coming up on the 25th of May. It's going to be Tanea and Sahara at the Vegan Bites Bakery. And so we kind of just gather around and have a hell of a time talking about crypto. And sometimes I do giveaways. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do this month, but come on down.
Nice.
It's
There we go.
7 to 9 p.m. on May 25th. So if you are a cryptocurrency enthusiast, doesn't matter if you are a Bitcoin maximalist like my friend Yakov here, you can still come. We'll let you through the door. But yeah, join us. It'll be a great time.
Awesome.
And then, of course, buy your tickets for AnarchoVegas.
Right?
Definitely.
That's important.
And use the promo code ACAB.
Yeah, I guess El Dorado days are coming up pretty soon here.
All right, all right. We got
And then
food
EDC,
not
right?
not bombs every Sunday, Mayfair Park. Have they opened Circle Park back up yet?
Beats the fuck out of me,
think
man.
we
I
were
have
gonna
no
need to
idea.
open this in.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we're gonna have to go and do some kind of civil disobedience, get that park
Well, the
reopened.
people walk through, but they haven't opened the parking area. There's been no mention anywhere. There's been no chatter, even locally.
Yeah.
You'd think that our distinguished neighbors, who are such assholes, would be up in arms,
Right.
Those-
like about that.
not
crazy.
all of our neighbors, those 10 loudmouths.
Yeah, those fuckers, man. And you think they'd be saying something, but they've kept their mouth shut. So I'm sure Bob Coffin, is playing some fucking game. And Downtown Steve is probably in on it.
Saw
This
him
was
at the
his
dollar
big.
store yesterday.
Fuck, man. I catch him digging through the fucking discount bin all the time. Like,
Hi, Lily.
He didn't
so
say hello to me. I was really disappointed.
he fucking runs. Like when he sees me, like he fucking moves. I mean, he's a prick though. So, but these are the people who are actively destroying the Hunt Ridge neighborhoods.
Saw him riding his $70 Walmart bicycle one day too.
Damn, he has a fucking. He has a pretty nice looking Jag. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen him getting into it, man. It's fucking.
He saw
pretty-
this cheap bicycle in the dollar store. It adds up after a while. You
Yeah.
buy a fancy
So.
car.
So-
There were a lot of other local and national and global police news stories. I guess we can not get too in depth, but just show you guys what's going on here. Recent developments: chalking tires to enforce parking rules is unconstitutional.
Yep.
Hallelujah.
That's just chalking
yeah, I
the
saw that.
tires.
So that's a good thing.
Chalking the sidewalks is not.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the things is that there's like an unlimited, the government just supplies us with an unlimited amount of content.
Right,
Just
yeah.
like shitty stuff they're doing.
Cannot cover it all.
I have
Yeah.
a page called Today's Government Screw Up. Aaron helps me admin that page, and it's like, there's just a never-ending supply
Right.
of stuff.
Dude,
You know,
it's unbelievable.
It's unreal.
This
So
from
thanks for the entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
This is from themindunleashed.com. U.S. police refuse to stop creating fake profiles on Facebook. So, I mean, if we do it, we get shut down. Police do it. Again, there's a different set of rules for them.
I don't know about you guys, but like when I get friends requests now, like I have to like thoroughly vet.
Oh, for
everyone, 'cause
sure.
I'm convinced that like a lot of them are just some sort
Right.
of
I mean,
government.
it comes to
For
the point,
sure.
though, where you know you must have some of these guys on your page anyway.
right.
So I stopped.
He just gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Fuck
accept
it.
them. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Like,
Well, I try to
everything
share.
is public.
Yeah,
Right,
me
right.
too. I share everything public, and everything
So-
I say has no censor. If you are offended by it, then you're freaking offended
Yeah.
by it. But I'm not.
Yeah.
I will not censor myself to
Right.
make cops feel more comfortable in their skin.
Bravo.
And
that.
actually, one of the things that has, like in the IRS, for example, that's made a big difference to, you've had some pretty high-level IRS employees that have kind of jumped ship going, wait, maybe there isn't a law. Let me go and research it. Because they're coming across all of these tax protesters.
Yeah.
And so by putting that information in front of them, we're actually, eventually some of it sinks in. And they might, the ones that are open to thinking about it might start thinking about it. So we might as well be public about it.
Right?
Yeah. And they just keep adding more and more, regulations and statutes on.
Right.
There's no way that anyone could know. And they do a disclaimer. I mean, I had that issue where I had a call and asked them a question, and the preface was they told me, well, the information we give you, if it's wrong, it's still on you. And I'm like, but I'm calling you guys. You're the expert, right? You're
Right.
the fucking guys who run this. So if I follow your rules because you told me, they're like, oh yeah, if somebody else looks at it and it's incorrect, you're still responsible. Like they don't
Yeah.
understand their own fucking laws and the rules
Right.
in order to make sure you
Take our advice
I
at
think
your own
Burke
risk.
and Rose actually said something about the IRS. The average IRS employee knows less about tax law than a loaf of bread. I'm not quoting that exactly, but something to that effect. Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
pretty true.
pretty amazing.
But that's why it's so important to
So to
like
be clear,
audit the cops, and make sure anytime you have an interaction, you live stream it, and
Absolutely.
just
Well,
make
the-
sure you protect yourself. And
For sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not just the IRS. The police don't know their own laws.
Their own laws.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And the
really
Same
rules.
shit, yeah.
And here, so we catch them all the time. I mean, that's what makes a lot of it easy, is if we know the laws.
Right.
Yeah.
We recite it back to them.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
embarrassing to them.
It is embarrassing.
Or
they do know,
they
they
actually,
just don't
they don't
care.
care. I mean, they
Yeah.
revel in their ignorance.
Yeah, it's like when
All
we got
all
we
they
got
have to
thrown.
do,
It's-
all they have to do is
it's like
twist your
when
arm
you-
behind your back
when you
and
go to a
Right.
press
push you up
Point a
against
gun
the
at you,
car
yeah.
and point a
Yeah.
gun at you.
It's
You
like
know,
when
it
you
doesn't
go to
matter
a-
if you really know the laws or not, because at the end of the day, they're just going to still use their violence.
Might make
Right.
right.
Right. Well, like I always say, man, you can beat the charge, but you can't beat the ride. So
Yeah.
we go down, and then you get released, but you fucking lose a day. I'm fortunate enough that it doesn't affect my life.
Right.
I have a job. I fucking no call, no show. I'm fired. So it does hurt a lot of people with that bullshit.
Yeah.
No, well, that's one of the ways that they get you, is that you get slapped with a ticket, and yeah, you can go and fight the $300 ticket, or you can and lose the day at work because you're
Right.
sitting in court, right? And you got to pay the ticket up front anyways, and then go and fight it and maybe get your money back, right?
Yep.
But if you don't get your money back, then you got the court costs too,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's no telling what your probabilities are that you're going to win that, so people just pay it
Yeah.
because it's not worth losing the
They don't
day
want the
and
hassle,
losing your
yeah.
job, and
Oh, yeah. I mean, in a
It's
just
extortion.
and, perfect world, everybody would fight every fucking ticket by, overwhelm the court system. It's so easy to do.
right.
If we did it, it would be a small percentage, man. It would back them up so much that they'd be dismissing and getting on the cops' asses not to fucking write out bullshit tickets.
So
That kind of
before
I
we
can
started
dig
the
it.
show, I mentioned Jim Bell. So actually, last year, Jim Bell came up with a new idea for how to basically clog up the system. He said if we could pay a bunch of people, $3,000, $5,000, whatever, to just not take the plea deal, if we could, and it would, only cost a few $1 million to get enough people to refuse to take the plea and basically ask for a day in court,
Absolutely.
right? Just a handful of people doing that would completely shut down the court system. They'd have to just start dropping charges because
Right.
they would, you have a
You would
quote unquote
override.
right to a speedy trial.
Yeah.
And it would block up the court system.
That
for
reminds
years.
me of a civil disobedience thing that Adam Kokesh did recently. Like when he got arrested, he was like pressure washing freedom onto things.
Right, yeah.
And they arrested him for like parking on the side of the road or something. I forget, but he refused to cooperate, so they had to like drag him throughout take him during booking, from here to there, from there to there. They had to carry him.
Mhm.
And one of the cops said to him, if everybody did this, we wouldn't be able to function. We wouldn't be able to operate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's the creative ways that if enough people were informed and cared enough, you could shut it down for sure.
Well,
Just,
hopefully we'll get there one day.
Right.
We just got to get enough people that feel like they want to take on the beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think starting a conference is a good way to help raise consciousness for sure. Get
Thank
people
you.
to
Thank
that
you.
level. Yeah, so you guys are doing your part. Thank you for your service. Couple more headlines real quick. $500,000 annually made off inmate phone calls. Cops and teachers accused of trying to lure teens for sex. I mean, there's no shortage of like
No.
pedophile
Pervert
cop
cops,
stories,
yeah, fuck them guys.
Pedophilia is so big right now.
right?
It's sickening.
An Atlanta community activist, when he was shot, what do you know? The body camera wasn't turned on. Right.
Of course not.
Former Huerfano County captain gets short jail term and probation for child sex assault. So
Yep.
it's like these cops,
you guys
when
hear
they
about
do
that
it,
cop that got arrested recently for bestiality?
yeah,
Had a bunch
the
of-
20 counts.
Had a
of
bunch of
like,
child
Yeah.
porn on his.
You have to be
and it was his
there.
canine dog.
Yeah, it was
too.
his own.
Yeah.
Police canine. Yeah,
Yeah, we talked about
Crazy.
that one. Yeah, that was
When
crazy.
you're not shooting your dog, you're fucking them. So.
Yeah, Lady and the Tramp.
Look at this inmate. This guy, there's a video of it too. Was arrested. The deputy got fired and arrested, thankfully, there was this inmate feeding a bird. So they're working the trash and threw a cookie to a bird, and the corrections officer beat the shit out of him for it. So thankfully he was fired, and he wasn't allowed to resign and
Move to
end up
someplace
somewhere else.
Well, he still may end up somewhere else.
He was a corrections
Yeah, who
officer. He'll
knows?
just go somewhere else, work
Yeah.
another jail, or apply to the police department.
Oh, and look,
Right.
this
You
guy's a
step up.
judge.
Right.
You know,
Judge accused of child rape, 3 counts of raping a child. This was crazy in Henderson. So the guy in charge of the Henderson evidence room got caught with tons of prescription pills, all the names scratched off and stuff. Well, he didn't get caught. He overdosed. And when they searched, they found all these stolen stuff from the evidence room. They never investigated it, never looked into it.
right?
Just like, oh, case closed.
Thin blue line.
I'm sure it's a
oh, hell,
coincidence,
scratch
yeah.
But never break. They cover.
Crazy. So that was a good story by the Review Journal. They do good work every now and then, you know.
Yeah, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
There you go.
So fuck them guys too.
Yeah.
They've screwed us enough times.
They
It's
have
bullshit.
every opportunity. They
They're
do.
fucking bullshit stories.
They always put the spin on it, the Sheldon Adelson spin.
Yeah.
This was a good article by the U.S. Today, but like you said, even a broken clock. 85,000 cops who've been investigated for misconduct. Now you can see their records. Just crazy, the amount of crooked police out there. But it's just a few bad apples, right?
Yeah, 80,000.
Yeah. No, it's just a few bad apples
This
that
is-
spoil the bunch.
That's the saying. Thank you very much.
But if it wasn't for them, there would be no ACAB Radio. So now they're our bread and butter. So keep going out there and fucking
I
being
think cats
disgusting.
are still beautiful regardless of what.
That's right.
This was a crazy story.
Well, if we didn't have cops, we wouldn't be safe.
They're here to serve and protect everyone. Remember that.
I mean, they
No
protect
more.
us from what they'll do to us if they stop protecting us.
If you
know?
don't listen,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all off the police cars here. I don't know if in other states, but now it's in partnership with the community.
And partner, yeah, right.
Is that's
But
the
yeah,
new
when
logo.
you are actually in trouble, it takes them about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to you, and it takes a minute to 2 to grab your gun and pull the trigger. So,
Yeah.
You can get an Uber faster than that.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I mean, honestly, when I lived in New
Penny
York, I had like a stalker situation, and man, like I can't even tell you. Like we called the cops, and it took them forever.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could have called an Uber driver to come and just like, hey man, just come hang out with me and
Yeah.
you know, just scare the guy off or whatever, and like tip the guy $20, you know, and that guy would have been there. You'd have an Uber driver over there in 2 minutes.
Yep.
There's this First Amendment auditor that I'm a big fan of, James Freeman, and he wrote this this quick Facebook post. I was just going to read it real quick. It's pretty funny. He says, activists should never be arrested by cops, ever. If cops think activists acted inappropriately, the right way to handle it is to file a complaint and let the activists investigate themselves internally.
Bam.
Out in public is not the place for cops to be arguing their case with activists.
I dig it. I dig it.
This is the same guy who's one of his audits. Like it's a YouTube video, and he literally goes up to
flip the script.
a cop and flips the script and goes, "Can I
see some ID?
see some ID?
Yeah.
And can you sit over here and
Can you see
put up
your-
your gun? So I don't feel like I'm in danger.
Yeah.
Can you open this bag in your car? Can I check? Can I look in your car to
Do
see if you have any drugs?
illegal drugs or weapons on you?
And the
Yeah.
cop actually
Sometimes they do.
he was actually a cool one. There's not many of them out there, but this one was actually pretty cool. And he kind of went along with it and was like, "Yeah, you want to see inside my bag? Come in the back. I'll open up the things in my trunk."
Yeah.
And it was just really funny to watch him flip the script and.
Yeah, we've got some good First Amendment auditors out here in Southern Nevada for sure. We're going to have a few of them on the show. Freeman, I don't know if he would be willing to come on, hopefully, but him, Josh Martinez.
Yeah, what's going on with Josh Martinez right now?
I don't know if he's still, I think he's still locked up. Should be getting out soon.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
JP's another one. He had one where
Yeah.
a cop
Do you know
choked
Bao?
him
Do you
out.
watch Bao?
Clash with Bao.
I don't know if that's in Colorado, right? Bao?
No, I think he's in Texas, but they all came out here. James Freeman, Clash with Bao, and
Oh,
others
okay.
for Josh Martinez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But if you haven't seen Clash with Bao, you gotta watch
He's
him.
so
'cause
funny.
so
There's
funny.
there's videos of him with his camera running from cops. And is he going, help, there's violent thugs chasing
Oh yeah,
me, help."
that. These
Good
guys
stuff.
have
Gang stalking me.
these guys have like First Amendment audit videos just running in the house all the time.
Nice.
It's like it's really on a loop. It's 24/7. We just want to learn as much as we can.
Yeah, you can
That
definitely
and
learn
rural alternative
something.
media.
Yeah, well, good content.
Yeah.
All right, I think there's a couple more. This was a crazy story. Cops open fire on a pickup truck full of children, shoot 3 of them and 1 in the head.
What?
Yeah, it's on the freethoughtproject.com.
Where is
Crazy.
that?
Out of Florida.
And it was like
Always like
it was like
Florida.
2 weeks ago. I forget.
I didn't see that one. I kind of missed that.
I mean, the guy tried to flee, and then the cops opened fire and shot.
Because I know they opened fire on another truck where it was a couple, like having a romantic interlude.
Yeah, and they thought it was an armed robbery suspect or something.
Oh, they just opened fire
mistaken
on these fucking
identity.
people,
and
yeah. That was...
This was in Oklahoma.
yeah, no,
Oklahoma
I'm
City.
surprised.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was like suspected in a robbery, and so
Does he fit the description?
it wasn't even. It was like a week later that they started tailing him and tried to pull him over and shot at his whole. The kids in the car shot one of the kids in the head. I can't remember if the kid made it
That's
or not.
horrible.
Yeah.
Was he fired? Was he
Promoted?
promoted?
My guess would be paid vacation.
Yep. What chance of promotion?
God, how could you shoot a child?
They shoot children all the time. They have no, And, I mean, I understand that they're shooting children and they don't give a fuck. Because
Right.
that's the cops. That's what they are. The community not to rise up. And...
Yeah, they're all
force
currently-
the fucking voice to be heard about them murdering and shooting our children in the street is disconcerting. I never understood why there's not like a mass
You
protest.
would expect the same people who riot in the streets about Alex Jones saying something against the Newtown shooting to say something about that, but people say silent.
People do riot in the streets. It's just that you have to understand the media doesn't report it.
Right.
There are protests and things like that happening all the time. It's just that they don't tell anybody about it.
Right.
Remember a few years ago there was some kind of protest going on in Washington D.C. There were like 1 million people out for this protest, and not a mention of it
Wow.
in the mainstream media at all.
Well, even like
Right.
the Yellow Vest movement,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
hardly being picked up by mainstream.
That's true.
I even did a test. I went on like CNN and MSNBC.com, and
Yeah.
I had to like scroll down just to find like a small little sub-article about it.
And
They don't
and when they
mention
do
it
talk
somewhere.
about it, it'll say like how
Negative.
violent it is, but
Right.
how
Right.
it's tapering off and getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
But it's been like how many months now?
Months,
Well,
Yeah.
May Day, man. They,
Well,
you know,
how many
huge.
times have we won the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan?
Yeah.
You know, just it's just sporadic fighting. We won.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all propaganda now. That's why
sure.
that's why this independent media is so important. That's why it's important that individuals can like grab a camera and go on Facebook Live and create their own channels. Maybe not on YouTube anymore, but maybe on Float in the future, and bring actual information out to the public that's just not going to get put out. And like Josh Sigurdsson, for example, he's out in Mauritania now. And he's a kid. How old is he now?
24.
24, right? But he's got, I don't know how many subscribers. He's got like 120,000 subscribers. Luke's got 160,000 subscribers. And these guys just
Luke has,
decided.
like 500,000 over.
Oh, really?
Over half a
Oh,
million.
600,000.
Yeah,
He's got 600,000 subscribers. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's-
And so, like, these guys have a following because they just decided to go out and bring this information out to the public that's not going to get reported elsewhere. Ford Fisher, he's going out and covering things that, when the mainstream wants to cover, they'll like steal his. Have you noticed that? They'll steal his content,
Right.
but they'll just like use little snippets. He's actually there on the ground reporting these things, and it's stuff that you won't see other places.
Yeah, Ford's the man.
Yeah.
Michigan police chief accused of helping wife file false sexual assault allegation against his deputy. That was a fun
I like when
one.
they eat their own.
Right. Just crazy shit, man. Too many stories.
How do you keep track of it all? Do you have like a Google alert, or you check on Twitter, or you just kind of?
Man, I have a few different outlets that I follow, and then
Okay.
Facebook stuff. When I see something on Facebook, I'll check the date, make sure it's from this week, and if it
Yeah.
is, then I share it into this Facebook group I'm in right now, and just scroll through it like this here. A photojournalist who was shot by Ohio deputies for filming them
Yep.
just won a suit. So film the police. If they fuck with you, you get a check.
If you survive.
That's true.
That's the caveat.
Oh, this was a good one. Video shows crash involving Inglewood mayor and a LAPD motor officer. The mayor backed into this bike cop.
That's a feel-good story for
That's
the
a
day.
feel good story. I should have cued the
What
video.
happened to the mayor?
Yeah, there's just, too many stories.
Yeah.
This was fucked up though. Mr. Checkpoint shared this one. Let me play this real quick. So he's just sitting here, dude. This is why you film the police right here. He's not resisting or nothing. Dude runs up, kicks him, and sicks the dog on him. Look, he's not fighting or anything. And then the dog just starts mauling him. Oh. And the cops are screaming, "Good boy, good boy." Yeah, it's just crazy. Too much stuff to talk about in a week,
Is
folks.
that the cop that fucks dogs?
Could be.
Well, that's not been revealed yet.
That's true.
And speaking of that, so when, where, and how are you guys revealing that Al Gore is an anarchist?
Yeah. An inconvenient truth.
That is
So it'll be on
an
our Facebook page, AnarchoVegas, and
Sweet.
it's going to be around tomorrow, around noon to 2 o'clock. Yeah.
All right.
Pacific time?
Pacific
or-
time. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are we
Specific
going to do
time.
the reveal party at like one of the bars? And
We
is the
can.
dive or
should do
Let's do
we
it.
can
Comic
definitely do
liquors?
that.
Well, we already did the gender reveal accidentally today.
Well, you heard it
Yeah, well,
first
it's a boy.
here on ACAB Radio. It is a man.
Yep. We're going to be doing the reveal party at MedMen. Free pedicab rides from Fremont Street for the reveal party. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to see what your listeners say, like who they think it is.
Has anyone commented? With a guest?
I'd have to
Did we
pull it up
turn that
here.
feature on today? I forget if we.
Well,
All
we'll see
right,
what
I
Sometimes they
think-
do it. It's kind of fun.
I think we're good here. We can leave it. It's almost an
Yeah.
hour and a half. We usually
Oh,
do an
sure.
hour show, but
Time flies
thank
when
you
you're
all
having
for
fun.
coming on, and thanks
Yeah.
for
Thank you,
putting this
guys.
event together.
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you very much for having us.
This was fun.
Yeah.
All right.
ACAB promo code.
That's
Get 10%
right.
off your
Yeah.
ticket at AnarchoVegas.
Yep.
AnarchoVegas.
AnarchoVegas.
I was waiting
I'm
for
an
you to
Anarcho
pull that.
fan. So.
Yeah.
AnarchoVegas.com. Check it out. And we'll see you this summer, July 19th, 20th, and
It's bound to
21st.
happen.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week.